In this video, I'll cover how you can stay organized, get more things done, and accomplish your goals faster. And this probably isn't the first time you've read a book or been through a course on how to get organized or how to, get more things done throughout your day. I know through all the different books I've read and courses I've been through on time management, I've never found one that's worked for me. And it's very similar as to why the traditional goal setting doesn't work either, is they don't take into account for the fact that stuff happens and things never go according to plan. And the two things that stick out in my mind is they'll have you make a list of everything you want to accomplish that day, like a to-do list. And then other ones will have you schedule the exact time slots out throughout the day to work on projects and meet with people. So, from 9:30 to 10, work on this. From 10 to 10:30, meet with this person. From 10:30 to 11, do this. From 12 to 1, go to the gym, and so on and so on. But what happens when you have those calendar schedulings? Well, a meeting you have runs longer, or getting a project done takes longer than you expected, or a phone call comes in and you have to take care of something right away. Or if you have those to-do lists that you have to get done every single day, do you ever get those to-do lists done? No, you don't. Even if you follow the only put it on a sticky note, message, only put so much on there that will fit on a sticky note. Well, I can put down 3 or 4 things on a sticky note and they still don't get all done. And so that's why a lot of time management methods fail, is because they expect you to be able to have a perfect schedule and things will go according to plan. Well, like I said in the first video in this training course, nothing goes to plan and stuff happens. So I'll take you through what's worked well for me over the years, and also my business partner Jason Wells, and a lot of other successful people that I know out there. So the first thing to do is you need to break down everything into individual action steps. So I'll give you an example. For this video, recording this video, I actually made up what I would do for getting this video done. And what I used to do is just say, well, I'll record this video, and that would be one of the things on my to-do list. Well, recording a video, there's a lot of steps to it, and there's a lot of times work that has to be done beforehand. I can't just turn on the camera and record this video. I have to make sure I have the proper equipment. The lighting, the camera, the microphones. I also have to make sure I have my outline done, so once I start talking on camera, I actually know what I'm saying and I'm somewhat coherent. So you have to break those things down into individual action steps. So here's an actual screenshot of my activity list or my to-do list for this project of creating this video series right here. So step 1 is brainstorm ideas and outline. Then create the slides. Then review, edit, and proofread the slides. Then export the slides. Do video prep, which is setting up the camera equipment and looking over my notes. And then actually record the video. Then import the video to my computer. Then edit it. Then publish it. Then upload it to my web server. Put it in a course format. Have someone review it. Hear back from the person. And then go out there and archive it and then promote it. So there's a lot of steps out there to recording and producing this video. So rather than just saying, well, I'm going to get X done, you need to break it down into individual action items. The second key area is you need to identify what resources you need for each step. And this helps you stay really organized and use the time you have most effectively. And so here's another part of my screenshot. It's the same list on the left-hand side, but if you notice on the right-hand side of it, I have some categories. So for brainstorm ideas and outline, I have that anywhere. And what I mean by that, my brainstorm ideas and outline is I just have some scratch paper with me and a black pen and a red pen. Well, anywhere I go, I have that. It's either in my laptop case, or it's in my car, or I carry it with me. I always have those things with me. So no matter where I'm at, I can brainstorm that. So if I'm out at a coffee shop, I can brainstorm. If I'm waiting for someone at an appointment, I can sit there and brainstorm it because I can do it anywhere. Well, to create my slides, I actually need a computer to do that. So I have my laptop on there. And to me, when I have my laptop, that means I can either use my laptop or I can use my home computer, which is my big heavy-duty computer I use for video editing and all that stuff. Review and edit my slides, I can do that from any computer, so I have my laptop again. Now, exporting the slides, I have to use my home computer for that, or my home Mac, because that's where I have all the special software on there to produce this stuff, and it's got the heavy-duty hard drives and heavy-duty processors to do all of it. And then to record my video and prep my video, wanting to be at home to do that. That's where I have my recording studio, or not my recording studio, I have my recording equipment. My cameras, my tripods, my microphones, my green screen, my lights, everything. I can't do that out at the coffee shop. I don't think Starbucks would appreciate that. And so on and so on. So you can see down the list, I have every single action item categorized by what I need or where I can do it at. And so what this allows me to do is I can look at my list and plan, okay, I got these things I need to do. Or if I'm out somewhere, I can pull up my software and see what task or what projects can I do that allow me to do it from anywhere or from a cell phone. And I can start working on those things while I'm waiting for someone, or if an appointment is taking longer than I expected. It makes your time more productive. I also have something on there for errands, and I label everything I need out there as an errand. So if I need to pick up more batteries for my microphone or pick up more printer paper, I put it on my shopping list and I categorize it under errands. So if I'm out, I can look at it and say, oh, I got to remember to pick up this, this, and this. And so the third key area is you need to give everything a deadline. So again, here is my screenshot with the third column now of the due date. And so you can see I've got the same task, brainstorm ideas and outline, which I can do from anywhere, and I want to get that done by October 8th. And then create the slides, get that done by October 10th. And you can see all the way down, I've got all the due dates listed there. And so what I do here is, I knew a certain date I need to have this video out by, or at least for my goal. So I set that goal, and then I started working backwards because I know generally how long it takes, and I broke things down into individual activities and then individual due dates. Because I know once I brainstorm my ideas, I always like to sleep on it for a day or two before I start creating the slides, because they sit in the back of my mind, I've got the juices flowing, and a lot of times more ideas will pop in my mind, or if I'm not sure how to organize something or present something, it'll come to me while I'm laying in bed or doing something else, and then I incorporate that once I create the slides. So I always like to have a 2-day separation between my brainstorming and slide creation. Now here is actually a screenshot of my entire project management software. It doesn't have everything on there, but you can see on the left-hand side are the individual projects or folders where for each project it has a list of these checkboxes on here of individual tasks. So I have everything listed out by due dates and when I need to get done by, and I can always pull up here to see what needs to get done by a certain date, or if I'm at home or traveling or out somewhere, I can pull up to see what needs to get done. You'll even notice a few areas have those red, like a red circle next to it or a yellow circle. That means it's either due in a day or two or it's past due. And so I can quickly see, oh man, I forgot to do XYZ for a training call. Now, you're probably looking at that screenshot I just showed you and looking at all the information I just went over with you, and you're saying, that looks like a lot. I don't know if I can do that, or I don't know if it's worth the time. And I'll tell you what, it's really not that much work. Because the thing is, it looks like a lot of work, but getting organized like that, the few minutes it takes you will pay off the amount of time you save and the productivity you have. Because when you take the time to do those 3 steps I showed you, which is break projects down into individual activities, assign the resources needed, and assign a due date, you'll increase your productivity and you'll decrease stress. And this is the way that whenever I do this, It seems like I have more time in the day because I'm more organized. I generally sleep better at night because I'm not stressed about things, or I'm not running around worried about things, or I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I'm not doing all that because I can see what needs to get done by what certain date. And so a very simple way to do this is you don't have to get all fancy like I did right off the bat. I didn't. That's how you get overwhelmed and never get anything done. If there's a project or a couple projects in mind that you have, just break out a piece of paper, make those 3 columns, and say, column 1, individual activity, column 2, resource needed, column 3, due date, and then write it all down, and at the top, write the project across the top, and there you have it. And I used to do that for all the projects I had, and I would have 6 or 7 pieces of paper with me that I'd always carry around with me or look at while I was working at home. And it worked for me for a long time. Well, then as I started, researching software and getting better at that way, I wanted to get things more organized and make it so it's on my computer, which would then be on my laptop, which would then be on my iPhone, which would then be on my iPad, and so on and so on. Now, if you want to get a little bit more fancy like I did with technology, or use a software that I just showed you, it's actually called OmniFocus, and it's developed by the Omni Group. Their website is www.omnigroup.com, OMNIGROUP.com. Now, it's a Mac-only software, so for those of you out there who use Macs, you can use it, and then you can have it sync between all your computers, your iPhone, your iPad, and whatever other devices Apple comes up with, in the future. Now, if you don't have a Mac, or you want to learn more about this subject, read this book called Getting Things Done, because a few of these ideas I explained to you actually came from this book. Now, in my mind, this book goes into way too many details and complicate things, but a couple of those points I showed you are like those key areas, like the 80-20 rule, that will give you the biggest bang for your buck, or the biggest bang for taking the time and doing it. But if you want to learn more, go read this book. And if you're using Windows and you want software like I showed you, just do a search for Getting Things Done software, or look for Getting Things Done inspired software. There's like a whole cult following behind this book and this guy, David Allen. Great information, and there's a lot of businesses and software built on the backbone of this. So you can search for it and find software that will work for your system and work for your budget. And lastly, when you're getting overwhelmed or you're really unorganized, what I recommend you do is you do an entire brain dump and organize everything. Just take out a blank piece of paper and write down every single thing you have on your mind, every single thing you have to do, and then start organizing it, and organize it by projects. And then those projects, break those things down to individual steps or individual action items, and do everything until it's organized and broken down to single actionable items that you can cross off. And I promise you, when you do that, you'll be more productive, you'll feel less stressed, and you feel like you have more time throughout the day.